before I started my walk, something that I didn't know was God's doing was before I moved up to Kansas, I had this moment of I had nothing left. I had nothing to give, nowhere to go, nobody in my circle that I was like, I want to rely on them. There was like nobody else that I had. And there was this moment where I was just like, I was done. I honestly didn't know where to go, what to do with myself. So I started crying. And I just started, at the time I was praying and talking to the universe, but I was talking to God. I didn't acknowledge him as God. Or I said I was talking to like a spirit, and it wasn't like some big man in the sky, that type of thing. So I was just praying, I was just crying, I was just emptying out my full pail and was just like, I don't know what to do. I can't do this anymore by myself. I can't keep hurting people. I can't keep living the way that I'm living because it's not gonna satisfy me. And I feel like that was like the pinnacle moment where God was like, okay, then this is it. This is where your life kind of does that flip, and either you're going to go all in or you're not. And at the time, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that that was the pinnacle moment for me to be like, okay, what am I going to do? This is what I'm going to do, whatever. And it's not like right after that moment, things got amazingly great, because they didn't. I still had a couple things that I had to clean up and get right with myself. But it is so crazy that sometimes we get to those levels in our life where like we are literally pinned up against the corner. We have nothing else, nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. We feel that we have nothing more to give, and we don't know the direction that we need to go next. And what's crazy is God will, in those moments, be like, okay, I'm here. I've been waiting for you. I've been calling for you. I've been carrying your footsteps to this moment, and this is where you're either going to acknowledge me or you're not. And I feel like so many of us today are in those elements where we're like, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep filling myself with this. I'm going to keep partying. I'm going to keep just ignoring the issue. I'm going to keep just relying on myself. I'm going to keep thinking about myself. I'm going to keep being selfish. I'm going to keep just making decisions for myself, when in reality, this life is not about you. The more that you continue to just think about, for me, you are forever going to be in this depressive state. You're going to forever be in these elements of like not knowing what to do, always being frustrated, always not knowing your next step, or taking these steps that are still leading you in this selfish way. And I was somebody that didn't think I was selfish, but I was selfish. I thought about myself all the time, so much so that I only had my back. I only made sure that I was good all the time, which in turn made me push a lot of people away and made me not appreciate the people that were there in my life and the things that they taught me and stuff like that. I just cared about, what was going to happen to me. I got to make sure that I'm good. And it's a constant like fear. You have a constant anxiety over your life because you're just worried about yourself, when that's not what he wants you to worry about. He needs you to take those steps. He needs you to step out of that I'm only going to do this for myself type of mentality. And the reason that I bring this up, or the reason that I don't even know why I had this moment. I was just watching this podcast, and I was listening to it, and it just reminded me of the space that I was in, and how we're gonna get to those places where we kind of hit rock bottom and we don't know where to go from there. But I want you to know that he is always there. No matter if you acknowledge him now or if you're gonna wait till you hit that rock bottom. But I need you to understand that you don't have to hit rock bottom to then have Jesus, reveal himself to you. You don't have to do that. You can take steps now before you even get so far that you literally have no one or anything to help you get out of that place. I need you to realize that it's not all about you, and it's not all about, what's going to happen in the future, because you don't know that you're going to get those future steps. You don't know that this job that's, taking care of you right now is going to have your back later, because we've seen it so many times where jobs don't care about you. And the moment that you're gone or the moment they lose you, they'll hire somebody else. The people that you think care about you, they don't care about you. They don't. A lot of people are in that selfish state where they will have you in their life and they'll, be happy with having you in their life, and they will use you. Not deliberately using you, but they will take all your goodness and keep it for themselves and know that it values them to have you in their circle. Okay? I'm not saying just cut everybody off and do your own thing. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying it's time to be aware of the things that they're not helping you. The numbing yourself, the running away from things, the just waiting for the inevitable to happen. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to hit rock bottom, and eventually you will come to God. You will come to him. He'll be there. He'll be ready. But you don't have to hit rock bottom for that to happen. Okay? And I don't know who needs to hear that, but it's definitely something that God put on my heart today, because I've felt that way. And I always knew about God, but I never knew what it was to have a relationship. I always was mad at God, and I prayed for signs and this and that, and I always came at it with anger, never even opening up my Bible, never even reading, never even getting the knowledge, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Learning about him, getting the character behind who he is and what he wants will help you then to have those moments of realization, and then he will start to reveal himself more. But you cannot ever just be sitting there mad at God, asking for this, asking for that, and never giving any time to him other than asking him for stuff or getting mad at him for things that you think he's the one that's controlling, when really we have choices. I've said this before. We have choices. We make decisions. We put ourselves in situations, and we are not the ones that are just going to get ourselves out of it. And if maybe you've had a situation where you've gotten yourself out of it, I truly believe that just because you got yourself out of it, it doesn't mean that you actually did that alone. Okay? Because he's always looking out for you, and he always wants you to come to him. And I want so many people to feel that type of experience, because trust me, I was exactly like that. I didn't think it was anything real. I didn't think it was some man. I didn't think it was what it is. And it just took me having to deny myself, having to deny the truth that I thought that I knew, by only having my own back or only thinking it's all on me, because it never was just all on me. And you're never doing this alone. Okay? I love you.